Older scholarship has regarded the Battle of the Marne as the main turning point of the war. Had the German army continued its advance, the war would have turned out differently, and the campaign in the West would have been won. According to this argument, the withdrawal of the right wing and the subsequent failure of the German attack plan were not forced by events, since the First and Second Armies were continuing to win their engagements. Instead, it was an unnecessary retreat that had cost Germany the victory. The official German history of the war, edited by the Reichsarchiv, offers two main reasons for the defeat: a whole series of military errors made by Moltke in leading the individual armies, and his mental breakdown. Both are significant, but they are not sufficient to fully explain the situation. Opinions are divided on the question as to whether it was necessary to withdraw the First and Second Armies. If they had remained in position, the First Army in particular would certainly have been put at enormous risk, and this might have been catastrophic for the entire right wing. Bülow said later that the withdrawal of the First Army was unavoidable, as it would otherwise have been encircled. On the other hand, the First Army had succeeded in holding off attacks by the British and French. The enemy advance was initially very slow and cautious, and their leadership was unsure about the size of the gap in the German front line. Groener later considered it probable that the Second Army could have taken their opponents from behind and driven them into the arms of the First Army. Had the British then advanced, they would only have sealed their fate, and would have been all the more completely encircled. The mood of the French was understandably also very tense, as the long retreat had sapped their strength and taken its toll on their nerves. Indeed, by the 4th of September, there were some in the French army recommending a further retreat to the Seine, including Berthelot, one of Joffre's closest colleagues. In the interwar years, scholars accepted that the collapse of the French Sixth Army, Montgomery, the commander-in-chief, was in tears and had to be comforted by Gallieni, would have been a mathematical certainty had the German army not been withdrawn. However, it could rightly be argued that the German troops were also exhausted and outnumbered,